Peregrine Sunhaven. The silk felt wrong. Not in texture, mind you, still the finest weave from xylose, shimmering like captured moonlight. But it lacked resonance. For 20 years, I, Peregrine Sunhaven, have curated these threads, felt the stories woven into their very being. Each bolt a journey, a memory. Now, a hollowness, a silence where there should be song. It began subtly, a flicker at the edge of perception. The merchants still came, the coins still clinked, but the air tasted of dust and regret. I dismissed it as fatigue, the burden of years spent chasing beauty in a world determined to forget it. But the feeling persisted, a knot tightening in my chest with each passing day. Old Man Kai, the dye master, arrived with a bolt of crimson, normally vibrant enough to set a man's soul ablaze. He laid it at my feet, and it faded. Before my very eyes, the color leached away, turning to a sickly gray. Kai stammered something about a faulty batch, a rare earth imbalance, but his eyes held a fear I hadn't seen in 60 years. He'd seen the Silk Road blossom and wither, known its secrets and its betrayals. This wasn't a dye problem. This was a sickness, a creeping rot at the heart of everything we held dear. My world, built on the brilliance of these threads, fractured with that fading crimson. I journeyed to the Spinners' Guild, a labyrinthine structure carved into the cliffs above the Jade River. The guildmasters, aloof and ancient, spoke of shifting astral currents, of a disruption in the weaver's loom, a mythical source of all silk's magic. They offered incense and chants, rituals meant to appease the offended spirits. But the explanations felt hollow. The incense smelled of ash, the chants lacked conviction. The guild, once a beacon of knowledge, felt steeped in denial. Each question I posed met with evasive answers, veiled pronouncements, and a growing sense that someone, somewhere, was deliberately obscuring the truth. The mountains themselves seemed to watch me with cold indifference. Master Lin, a scholar of forgotten lore, presented a theory, a color blight, a phenomenon documented centuries ago when the silk routes were first established. He spoke of a parasitic bloom that feeds on the soul of the silk, draining its vibrancy. He offered a solution, a rare orchid, the moon petal bloom, said to possess restorative properties. It was expensive, bordering on impossible to acquire, but he assured me it would revitalize the silk, restoring its luster. I emptied my coffers, securing the last known bloom. For a time, it worked. The silk shimmered anew, the colors regaining their brilliance. A false dawn, I realize now. The moon petal bloom's effect was temporary. The silk's vibrancy returned, yes, but it lacked depth. It was a painted imitation, a hollow echo of its former glory. The colors felt strained, like a smile masking a deep sorrow. And then I noticed something worse. The bloom itself was fading, its petals crumbling to dust. It wasn't curing the blight, it was merely masking it, accelerating its insidious spread. The truth began to dawn. This wasn't a natural phenomenon. Someone, or something, was deliberately poisoning the silk, stripping it of its essence. The source led me to Lord Valerius, a merchant prince who'd recently risen to power, amassing a fortune trading in artificial dyes. He'd dismissed the true silk as archaic, inefficient. He'd been systematically flooding the market with imitations, and now he was actively destroying the source. He didn't deny it. He saw beauty as a weakness, a distraction from profit. He believed the world needed uniformity, predictability. We confronted each other in his sterile metallic palace, surrounded by rows of perfectly identical silks, devoid of soul. He spoke of progress, of efficiency. I spoke of loss, of the slow death of a dream. I couldn't defeat him with force. His power was too great. But I could expose him. I gathered the remaining artisans, the weavers, the dyers, those who still remembered the true beauty of the silk. We staged an exhibition, a display of the true silk alongside his lifeless imitations. The contrast was stark, devastating. The people, initially swayed by his promises of affordability, began to see the emptiness of his creations. They remembered the stories woven into the true silk, the memories it held. Valerius's empire began to crumble, not with a bang, but with a collective sigh of remembrance. I realized glory wasn't in possessing beauty, but in safeguarding it. The silk trade will never be what it once was. The old routes are fading, replaced by new networks, new technologies. But a small community remains, dedicated to preserving the art of true silk weaving. We work slowly, deliberately, honoring the ancient traditions. The silk may be rarer, more expensive, but it is alive, vibrant, infused with the stories of those who create it. I no longer chase perfection. I embrace the imperfections, the subtle variations, the unique character of each thread. The dust of regret has settled, replaced by a quiet sense of purpose. The silk still sings, and I, Peregrine Sunhaven, am finally listening.